Hey everyone out there, this is Randy. I'm here to talk about just like our video says, our 2023 goals for the year. We're also going to invite anybody else who wants to come on, share their 2023 goals for the year, and kind of go from there. So, anybody who is out there and wants to share their goals, by all means, let me know. I'm going to post a link in the chat, and I'm going to get set up here so I can do that on both. Here we go. All right, so what we're going to do is I'm going to I shared the link in the chat, and I'm also sharing it in the YouTube chat so you can check that out. And one thing I want to make sure you guys do is make sure you subscribe, and I'm missing the E here, to my YouTube channel, okay? So at Randy Steadwell, okay? I have horrible handwriting. So YouTube, okay, we're gonna keep this board up. We're gonna go around, and I'm going to show you my goals for this year, and we can kind of go from there. Okay, so hopefully we have enough people to come in, and we will see what goes on. All right. Now, one of my biggest goals, I will say, one of the goals for our YouTube channel. All right, our YouTube channel is going to be. Let me give it 1 second here. The one goal that I want for the YouTube channel is I want to hit 1,000 subscribers. Okay. So 1,000 subscribers on YouTube by the end of 2023. That's my goal. So, you know, I'm going to sit out here. Looks like we got somebody coming in. Khalif, Mr. Khalif, how you doing?
I'm awesome. How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing all right, man. I'm doing good. So we're talking about goals today. Goals for 2023. By the way, happy New Year, buddy. Happy New Year. So how did your New Year go?
It was perfect, man. Spent at home with the family.
Yeah.
Safe, cozy. I have no complaints.
That's awesome, man. So so I want to get back to the goals. I just announced that one of my goals for my YouTube channel is going to be 1,000 subscribers. Okay. It's a tough pill to hit. You know, we hit my goal. I started doing the YouTube channel. I didn't really start doing anything with it until October-ish. And my goal was to hit 100 by the end of the year, and we hit that goal. So actually, as of right now, we're at 110. So that's all thanks to this community right here. So I really appreciate it. We got the big old whiteboard over here. All right. And so subscribe YouTube channel. All right. That goal is going to be 1,000 subs. All right. Hopefully people can see that. So
I love it. It's coming in clear.
Awesome. So now, Khalif, what is your goal for your social media handles, whatever it is you want to share.
So I have it here. Let me move out the way.
Yep, we see it. It's coming in.
Yep, that's my Facebook group. I would love if everybody joined. We're closing in on 6,000 members.
That's awesome.
You know, and my goal by the time we close this year out to be up over 10,000.
Okay.
And to keep the fire going, man.
That's awesome. So Metro Detroit MI off market deals.
Yep. And I'll drop a link in the chat if that's cool too.
Yeah, most definitely. So anybody who's watching here from my channel, from my group, go over to his group. Go ahead and join his group. You know, if it wasn't for him, if it wasn't for Khalif over here, I wouldn't have this group at all. So I owe him a debt of gratitude on this, by all means. And you know, he keeps pushing me to go harder, and that's what I keep doing too. So you know, we're gonna keep going and kind of go from there. So now we're on the handles and everything. I got one more person coming in here, Gerald Price. And Gerald, Mr. Gerald, how you doing today?
What's going on, Randy? How you doing?
Oh, that's awesome, man. I'm doing all right. Gerald, this is Khalif. Khalif, Gerald, how you doing?
Hey,
King Gerald.
what's up? What's up, brother?
How you
Awesome.
doing?
So we're talking about goals for 2023. Okay. And so right now we're talking about social media handles. Like I'm bringing on my goal for my YouTube channel is 1,000 subscribers. Okay. My goal by the end of this year was 100 subscribers because I started a little late, and we beat that. So we are sitting at 110. And so Khalif, what did you say you had that? What's your goal for that that you want to hit by the end of the year?
I want to, you know, approach and get over 10,000 before the end of the year.
All
I think it's
right.
more than possible. We're able to do 5,000 in the first year, so I think it's more than
Let's do
possible
it.
to double that.
Yeah, most definitely. Now, Gerald, what's your goal for your social media handles?
So, with the Facebook group, I'm looking at 1,000,
Okay.
and that's the first half of the year.
Okay.
And then with the YouTube channel, I'm looking to match that.
Okay. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
So what's your Facebook? You have a private Facebook group, right?
I'm starting all of that from scratch.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I'm
All
starting it
right.
all from scratch.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So, well, I definitely think that it's something doable. I think 1,000 people on a Facebook group is, if you stay consistent. We hit 1,000 after I think it was I think we hit 1,000 after about 3 months, 4 months. So, and as long as you're staying consistent, you know, so that should be good. So now, for your YouTube channel, what's your YouTube channel over here so we can plug it for you?
I'm not even I'm not even sure what it, man. It should be Bird Dog Factory, but I'm not
Okay.
100%. Like I'm putting all of that together fresh because I've been
Gotcha.
creating content for a little bit, and now it's just trying to organize it and be consistent. You know, trying to. I spent the last 6 months trying to find my voice, trying to figure out what I wanted to bring to the people in the space of real estate, and you know,
Awesome.
yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, that's 100%. I 100% agree with you on that. You know, I think you need to come at it with a plan, and unfortunately, you know, I'm like trying different things to see what works, and I think this year we need a plan, and to get to 1,000 subscribers, it's not, everybody says it's about the monetization when you get to 1,000. Well, you need that 4,000 watch hours. To me, I don't even care about the monetization. It's more about, I want to help as many people out there as possible. I want to get what I'm talking about out there to as many people as possible. So, to me, that's my goal. Okay. And kind of go from there.
Yeah, I'm the same way. For me, with COVID, real estate changed, and so
Yep.
before I just started spewing information, I wanted to get a good sense of what strategies still work. What the
Yep.
market looks like moving forward.
Yep.
I made some changes in my business, and just as things are playing out, just having some clarity. And
Gotcha.
for me, like my game in the real estate space has stepped up on another level.
Okay.
And now I'm trying to take like what I'm doing and simplify it so I can coach and bring up others.
Gotcha.
You know.
So that, I mean, 100% agree with you on that. And that's one thing that actually brings me to my next goal. And Khalif is one person that I've worked with, I've JV'd with so many times. We've done so many deals together, and I'm looking to do that as well. So my next goal, and y'all, if you don't know the YouTube handle, it's in the description, by the way. So, so my next goal is, I want to uh, help. I want to help. I'm gonna shoot. This is gonna be a low number right now, but I want to help 50 people. Uh, Actually, I'm gonna change that because I gotta be more realistic. I have a day job. 25 people. We'll go 25 people. Okay, get their first deal.
That's this year.
That's this year.
Yeah, you
That's
can you
this
can
year.
you can double that, man. If not
Yeah.
10x it. When
Yeah.
you say help them, how involved are you seeing yourself being?
So this here, okay, this will come from JVs. It will also come from me just getting on a phone call, talking with somebody, saying X, Y, Z, and then they can go out and get their deal. Okay.
Yeah,
So I was thinking more along the lines of probably 25 JV deals with me for them to get, their first deal. But if we take all in effect of the YouTube channel, the content that I'm going to put out, getting on a phone call with somebody who needs help, yeah, I can reach that 50 easily. Okay.
yeah.
So
That's I would when it comes to goals, being very specific. Like when
yeah.
you say so, part of my gift and what I bring to the table is
Yep.
I'm a no limit thinker. Like I'm a 10x guy. I'm a so I without limits. So
Yep.
when you said 25, I was clear that you saw something specific about that number.
Yeah.
So I
That
would
is
say JV
this.
with 25 people.
Yeah. This will be definitely just JV deals. And the reason why I say that is because I can't measure the others.
Yeah, because I have
Okay.
it that your group helps more than this that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Most
saying?
definitely.
Yeah.
So my group, Christina, or sorry, my group, Khalif's group, and we both have that going for us. Now, for those 25 people, I want to JV with. Okay, um, I don't charge anything for a course. I don't do anything. I give my time away for free. Okay, I say, hey, doesn't mean I am sitting there on the phone all the time. I'll hop on a phone call with you. I'll give you some advice. If we JV, we JV. If we don't, we don't. But if you're calling me with an intention not to JV, I'm probably going to get off the phone with you as fast as possible. That's all. So, um, time's money. So, now with that being said, um, I want I want to do an average of 2 to 3 deals per month. Okay. This is a very, I think this is a very achievable goal. Okay. Right now, I'm doing about 1 deal per month. Okay. And if you average it out, okay, there's some months I don't, there's some months that I do 3 or 4 deals, but you average everything out for the entire year. I get, um, I get the, um, I, so for me, I want to at least double that, if not triple that. Okay. So, and thank you, Christina, who answered that question. Chave asked what JV deals, what are JV deals? So, um, and I'm not, mispronouncing your name, but JV is called joint venture. Okay, joint venture is when you get 2 wholesalers. One has the contract from the direct seller, and then possibly another one that has the buyer, and then you guys do what's a 50-50 split, and on that. So, and kind of go from there. So, with that being said, we'll put this in there in the chat there. My goal is 2 to 3 deals per month. That's coming from 1 deal per month. Okay. So for me, that's double and tripling my deals. And I think that's definitely doable. So
When you say deals, are you speaking specifically wholesales, or are you talking about purchases, transactions? What
I'm
are you?
spec- I'm specifically talking about wholesale deals.
Okay.
So because the reason why I say that right now is because that's what I do right now. I specifically just wholesale at the moment. Okay. I will be bringing up some other goals for more other opportunities a little bit later. But right now, that's just specifically talking about wholesaling. Khalif, what is your goal on that?
I'm kind of in alignment with you to keep the wholesale machine steady and getting processes and procedures in place to consistently do
Mm-hmm.
at least 2 to 3 deals a month.
Mm-hmm.
But my goal with the way the market is shifting,
Yep.
and the whole reason I initially got into wholesale back in 2018 was the anticipation of a market shift then, and here we are years later, and maybe we're on the brink of it. But I say all that to say I got into it back then as a way to get creative, to get properties, for pennies on the dollar,
Mm-hmm.
to begin acquiring rentals.
Right.
So that's my thing with leads that are coming in, or joint ventures, is to kind of look at them with the eyes of buy and hold investor to figure out how to either take them down cash or put together creative offers to start buying and holding some of these things this upcoming year.
Right.
So my
That's all.
goal this first quarter is to get one locked down.
Okay.
Prayerfully end the year with 2 lockdown.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to do them creatively. So
And is that a buy? Is going to be a buy and hold, not a
buy and
flip?
hold, yep.
Okay.
Buy
That's
and
awesome.
hold. To try to take those down creatively and take them over with the smallest amount of cash out of pocket is my goal. Just I know if you kind of box yourself in to figure it out, you know, it allows for the creative process to get more in depth to figure out how to create a win-win.
Most definitely.
Yourself and the seller, yeah.
Most definitely. Now, and I just added this so that we know that these are wholesale deals.
Yep.
Okay. So I also have a goal as well, and that is to get, and I don't have it specifically set to a quarter, okay, or anything like that, but I at least want to do one wholesale creative deal. Okay. And I want to do one wholesale creative. Actually, let me take that back. One creative keep. So I want to do a wholesale deal that is creative, and I also want to keep a creative deal and buy and hold it. So I know these are low numbers, and this is probably easy, and this is probably could be easily done up to like 5, you know, but right now, because I've never done a creative deal on wholesaling or anything like that, that's why I was saying 1. So I got to get past the first hurdle of actually doing it. You know, everything that I've done has been cash deals. So, and kind of going from there. Now, so this will be 1. All right. And the creative keep is going to be 1 buy and hold. Right now, I just want to if there's more deals that come up later on, then I'll keep more. We'll go beyond that, but my goal is at least 1 at the moment. So, what about you, Gerald?
So for me, the goal for me right now is to raise 10 million. Because I have a real estate fund.
Okay.
So raising 10 million for the fund. This is by mid-year. I work my deals in quarters. I mean, I work my goals in quarters, 90-day segments, and I give myself 2 quarters to kind of build.
Gotcha.
And then I want to get to 1,000 doors, and currently I'm at 182. And I want to get my wholesaling up to actively wholesaling five deals a month.
Okay. That's aggressive.
Yeah.
That's aggressive. Yeah.
Well, it's the way my system works is because I'm a coach and mentor. I do a lot of JVs, joint ventures, with my students. So I'm walking them through the process, holding their hands. And I've been doing it for a little over 15 years. So I have some momentum. You know, that part I'm not starting from scratch. And so it's not hard to kind of, you know, hit those types of targets.
Gotcha.
With some consistency.
Yeah. So that's most definitely one thing that we are going to. I think 10 million is. Whew, I've never seen 10 million.
It's actually not a lot of money at all.
Yeah.
And when you put it into perspective.
Yeah.
Like I'm working on a 416 unit deal in Louisiana.
Okay.
And
that's half the deals you need. That's half the doors you need right there.
Exactly. You know, and so if that takes me 5 million to do, and again, you would divide that number by the amount of doors, you know, it becomes manageable.
Most definitely.
You know, like
Yep.
I'm in Kansas City right now, and I'm working on a 30 unit here,
Hmm.
and it's a $3.5 million deal, but that's like 116,000 a door.
Right.
You know, so it's not as far fetched or out of reach. You
Okay.
know, it's the same type of math and same type of analysis. You're doing it, you know, over 5 or 10 units or 20 units, and so you just kind of
Most definitely.
yeah.
Yeah, so that's one thing that I need to get a little bit better at, and I've already actually discussed that with you, Gerald. I need to get better at comping the multifamily. So, and then obviously that's another goal. We don't need to really write it down, but I want to get more in the multifamily space. I want to get more in what we're doing there. But I'm getting my cold calling set back up. So not only am I going to do JV deals, but I'm also going to, I'm going to set up my uh, cold calling systems, and I got them pretty much dialed in. But I still need some more tweaking. There's still some things that need to be done, and then I also need to um, build better lists. Better lists to call. Okay. And I know that's not a very measurable thing to do, but when you're coming from zero at the moment, everything is, starting out. So for me, um, you know, we are going to build better lists, okay, to come out. We're going to build better cold calling systems, okay. And I'm also going to be training more, training VA. Right now, I have one VA, um, and I'm going to be training her. Uh, Even though I've already trained her before because we've worked together, I want also to be able to expand into 2 or 3 other VAs as well. Okay, so expand to 2 to 3 VAs. And the only thing that will help me get to that, okay, is the only thing that will help me get to that is this 2 to 3 deals per month. Okay. If I don't get these 2 to 3 deals per month, I can't do this. So, and even if I have so what I also want to do is help other people out on how to do this. So what I'm trying to do is um, I'm building these systems, but I'm trying to build some sort of SOP. Okay, and with that, then I'm going to sorry, real quick, Christina. A VA is a virtual assistant. Okay. A virtual assistant can be anywhere in the world and they're helping you out. So I appreciate asking the question though. Thanks, Christina. And so a VA, my VA is out in the Philippines. Okay. And that's where you'll probably find most of them, but you can find VAs in the US, you can find them in India, you can find it wherever you want. It depends on what you're looking for them to do. Um, Really depends on where you want to go. So, on that, what I also want to concentrate on is, we are looking to help people get their first deal, but what I also want to learn is by doing this SOP on how we're doing this, I also want to help other people by having them implement it. And what this is gearing me up for is later on, if I decide, I'm not saying I am right now, if I decide to build a course later on, I can, and I'll have the things in process. So that's kind of my deal. So when when somebody wants to go hop on a call with me, if it's only a quick 5-10 minute call, that's perfectly fine. But I'm going to try to stress to do a video call. To do a video call with people, okay? And when I do that, I'm also going to record that. So we have that. And obviously, I'll give that person a copy of the recording. That's perfectly fine. But we'll also have it for content base, and it'll help us go towards the 1,000 subscribers. It'll help it. So as you see us doing these new things throughout the year, you'll see that one helps the other and kind of going forward. So, you know, that is by all means I think that's the best way to kind of describe some of my goals here. What do you guys think?
So I love what you're saying. My question is for the VAs, right? Um,
Yep.
what what does a VA represent for you in terms of deal flow? Like, are you clear on what that number would be, or
So what does a VA represent to me as far as deal flow?
yeah? Because you said, in order for you to bring on the 2 to 3 VAs, you need to hit your per month deal.
Correct.
and
Okay.
and the only reason to bring on a VA is to help you kind of scale and free up your time. You know
Yes.
what I'm saying? And so the idea is that they kind of pay for themselves.
And that is correct.
Yeah.
So the reason why I say that is because so the 2 to 3 VAs, maybe one of those VAs will just strictly be on our YouTube content.
Okay.
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 And then the other 2 VAs will be cold calling.
Okay.
Okay. So I have work for people to do. I just need to be able to pay them to be able to do it. The company needs to be able to pay them
Right.
and not out of my own pocket.
Right. Right.
So
No, that
if,
that definitely helps me understand. Because
yep,
right now I'm working on bringing on some VAs, but I have
yep,
a hard time figuring out what I want them to do for me because I'm not the
okay,
best delegator. and
correct.
and
Yeah.
it's because I haven't taken the time to put the POSs together, the
Right.
processes. What does this PO stand for?
Processes, it's yeah, processes and
SOP.
operating.
That's system.
SOP
Yeah,
is standard operating procedures.
that's what I meant. That's what I meant.
Yeah.
I haven't
So
put that together.
yep. So I haven't put that together either, and that's one goal that I need to. But as I'm doing for my cold call and preparing for my cold caller, okay, I'm putting, I'm building a script. Obviously we all get those scripts that are out there that everybody has. Well, I got to implement it in my system, and then okay, do I like this? Do I want to change this? Do I want to move this over here? Do I want to test this, and so on and so forth. So also it has the flow of things have to go in the right order as well. So does this flow when the call comes in, does it show the right information? Does it show when she puts in the information there, and then does it go to my CRM afterwards, and how does it get there, and so on and so forth. Because actually my goal is my VAs don't need to go into my CRM at all. Okay. So the CRM is just for me. And basically, they're using just a web form and then it's just populating the information. So, so that's kind of where I'm getting at right now. I am like probably a good 95% there. I'm hoping to be able to start working working on something together. Or hopefully start getting her cold calling. I've already started cold calling myself. Just an hour or two here just to test systems out. Okay, because I have to test it out before I have her do it because I'm the one that's got to train her to do it. So, and Christina, CRM stands for Customer Relations Management System. Okay. So that's where you're going to put all your, that is where you're going to put all your deals, all your information your, uh, uh, about that property, about each property, whatever it is. When you talk to them, if they're on their way to the hospital and they can't talk, and I've had that happen to me before, they literally answer the phone and they're like, "I'm on my way to the hospital. My my cousin or my mother has only, they're about to pull the plug," and um, I'm like, "Okay, great. I'll follow up with you next week, or in a couple weeks. I just want to make sure. I make sure the time that's a good time for them to follow up, and I say, hopefully everything works out. God for well. Now, when I call back and I follow up, hey, I'm very sorry to hear about what happened to your mother, your cousin, whatever. Did they pass away? Did they not? Uh, I'm not going into business right away. I'm talking about them, you know. So those type of things, that's what you need in a system because you're not going to remember that after you talk to 200 people. So, so that's awesome. And yeah. So anybody who is on here, basically, who if you want to come and list out your goals, we'll put the link in the chat. Say I do or whatever. I'll put the link in the chat for you, and you can come join us. So, but yeah. So, is there any other goals that you have, Gerald?
Yeah. A lot of my goals right now are um, around just optimizing my current business.
Okay.
I'm starting to work on building business credit lines, things like that. So I
Okay.
had to make some adjustments to how my corporations are registered. Uh,
Okay.
I'm starting to transition to working outside of out of a trust.
Okay.
So I have some stuff going on with that right now,
Most
and
definitely.
and then really just getting back to automation. I've been doing it for 15 years, and when I got started, a lot of the stuff we're talking about didn't exist.
Right.
And so getting up to speed on social media, CRMs, VAs, automation, funnels, like all this stuff, I have an understanding of it, but it's putting it into action. It's taken a little bit of time because you know I'm making a transition, and it's like
Yep.
teaching an old dog a new trick.
Yeah.
So I'm just pivoting right now. So that's where I'm at.
Awesome. And then Laird Shepard had this question: how much did a trust start? To set up? I'm asking
How
probably
much
how
does
much
it
did it
cost?
cost? Yeah.
So the short answer is it varies for
Okay.
the type of trust that I'm setting up. It's going to cost me about 30,000.
Okay.
It's a complex non-grantor type of trust,
Gotcha.
and it also comes with some entity formation like C corps and LLCs, and
Right.
also a nonprofit structure. So there's a few different things that's coming along with it.
Yeah. Now,
Yeah,
Larry, I'm gonna add. I'm gonna say, talk to a attorney about that. We're
yeah,
not attorneys. We are
yeah,
not. This is for entertainment purposes only. That's the disclaimer.
yeah.
But I will say,
It
for
could be as
when
low as 1,000, 1,500,
exactly.
2,500 for because the way trusts work is they have different purposes. There's about 80 different types of trusts. And
Hmm.
so, you have to set it up based on what you're trying to accomplish financially.
Right.
And
Okay.
for me, because I've started a fund and I'm dealing with larger sums of money and bigger assets, and I need a little bit more of a protection and or anonymity and things
Yep.
like that. Yeah.
Yep. Most definitely. It was funny about that. I was just reading a podcast about Pace Morby's setup that he has with and how his structure is and things like that. So I definitely recommend that. And I think there is one group that he recommends to do it. I think I can't remember the name of it, but go check that out. And they're usually on top of everything. So, and they can actually do a free consultation call as well. So, so would you know, is that so what other goals do you have, Gerald, that you're trying to set this year or this quarter?
Um, so I'm in conjunction to growing my real estate business. I'm starting a traditional business
Okay.
in the tax planning space.
Okay.
So I'm launching my tax preparation business,
Okay.
and it all fits together because, like, when I work with, like, real estate is important, but it's a lot of different things you need to start to learn about, right? Like the entity
Yes.
structure and formation, credit, uh,
Yep.
financing, how that works, construction, like, there's a lot of different skills you develop. And so for me, you know, because I do coach and mentor, I'm
Hmm.
trying to, create systems where if I'm introducing something to my students, I don't want to send them out to other professionals that might not know how to help them implement this structure to get this
Right.
like for this purpose.
Right.
Because we'll say CRM, but then there's like 10 different ones, or we'll
Gotcha.
say you know like trust, and there's multiple, or
Yep.
LLCs, and there's different ways you can use it. And so for me, uh, with the tax planning business, the reason why I'm getting into that is because I had to implement more advanced tax strategies,
Hmm.
because of real estate. And then, I'm coaching people on what to look out for. And
Gotcha.
a lot of tax professionals don't necessarily know how to work with real estate professionals. And so I just decided to do that based on my relationships. And
Yep.
because I've been studying that for a little bit of some time. And then the last thing I'll say about it is, when it comes to raising money, like on a bigger
Yep.
scale, you have to have pre-existing relationships with people. And there's
Yeah.
different things that you need to know. And so when I'm helping people with their financials, managing debt, credit, things like that, it's
Yep.
easier to kind of help them come along and invest alongside of me on my deals. So it's a
Gotcha.
win-win-win situation.
Most definitely. I 100% agree with you on that. And, raising money it's a skill. It definitely is. And, that's another goal that I have is I do want to raise money because one other goal that I have, as well as having one creative property, as well as, to buy and hold, is it'd probably be towards the end of the year. Probably won't be towards the beginning. Is I want to try to do a flip as well. Okay. Now, being in this market, it might not be the best idea. So I will have to, it has to be a smoking deal in order for me to do a flip. And I want to do that flip with zero money out of my pocket. And I want to bring in private money lenders who will come in and allow me to work that deal. So whether it's giving them equity in that or not, or just a straight return. Okay. That's one of my goals as well. Is I'm going to buy and hold one, and I'm going to flip one. So, yep. So on that aspect, what about you, Khalif? What you I know you talked about you wanted to do buy and holds. Any flipping properties or anything like that,
Um, I
or
leave
raising
all
money?
opportunities open, kind of like Gerald.
Yep.
Sky's the limit. I've learned, I think it was Grant Cardone says you kind of say yes and figure it out after.
Yep.
So definitely if the opportunity comes, that'll
Yep.
be dope. I have a mentor that's already put a bug in my ear that if I want to, uh, decide to veer outside of wholesaling and my buy and hold goals to flip, he said he's there to kind of walk me through it. And he's kind
Gotcha.
of transitioning into a situation where he wants to, ultimately his goal is to be a lender
Yep.
from the real estate. So he's kind of in a position where he can do some of that and has lent to me on some hotel deals.
Gotcha.
So just taking that
Okay.
the next step further. I mean, he's an avid flipper. He's been flipping since right when the market was turning 2010, 2012, I think is when he got in the game. So
Got.
I hooked up with him in 2018, but the year prior, he sold all his buy and holds to have liquid cash on hand because we thought we were going to get a correction back then. So
Right.
he's kind of repurposed that and now has been, lending those funds and continued to fix and flip to build those cash reserves now to now turn either to buy and hold some of these things or just like you said, from our marketing channels, if we get, a hot deal that makes
Yeah.
sense to flip to do just that.
Exactly. And that's kind of where, you know, I'm looking at like, okay, great. If this deal makes sense, we'll go ahead and flip it. But for every deal I analyze, for every deal I do, I'm learning more and more.
Yeah.
And, I don't care what people say. You learn by doing. You're not going to learn by just analyzing and being on YouTube and just okay, I'm waiting for that perfect time to get in there. You got to actually get in there. And I think where it might help people better, and this is where I want to come in and help. And I know Khalif, you do as well, and so do you, Gerald. But is if you have somebody to bounce the the deal off of and say, hey, is this really a good deal? Okay. And this is what I'm trying to do with it. Is this a good deal? And we can kind of go by the parameters that you're saying on what you want, not whether it be a good deal for me to wholesale or Khalif to wholesale. It's okay, you're trying to buy and hold it. All right. Awesome. Can you afford to do this, this, and this? And can you afford if this goes wrong, and this goes wrong? Because that's typically what we've seen.
No,
Yeah. Go ahead, Khalif.
no, I was going to say that for sure because my primary residence I bought subject to. But at the time, what did they say? I was just straight hammer, cash offer all day.
Yep.
And through another mentorship group, a guy that's been doing creative deals for like 20 years, kind of, I gave him the deal and he was like, well, kind of ask some probing and fact finding question to see what's more important to the seller. Is it the cash or is it, the speed of the sale?
Right.
And that's not a corner I had turned until that point. So just to your point, I turned a deal that didn't work as a cash offer into a subject to deal because I was able to leverage someone else's knowledge and expertise where I might have just passed on that for sure. Had I not had somebody, take a second set of eyes at it.
100%. 100%. That's also, I didn't know about your house being subject to deal.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and
So,
it's been awesome because I mean, you know, I got into it with very little cash. I think about $5,000 in closing costs to control $130,000 house.
and did you have to check the credit?
Nope,
Did
no
you have to
credit.
put down a down payment? I mean, it's like, did you have to do like none of that typical bank stuff that you actually had to do?
Yep.
So it actually works perfect for somebody who is a self-employed person who doesn't want to wait the 2 years for the income
Yep.
process and do all of that. I'm not saying I'm doing this, but say I go out on my own and I quit my day job and I want to do this full time. Well, now if I want to go buy another house, personally, I need that 2 years of income, because I don't have a W-2 and I don't have that. So now I've been doing wholesaling for 2 years, but the last time I did it was with a business partner, and this past year was my first year doing it as my own company. So, um, you know, things haven't been, I think the best thing for me was that I matched what I made the year before because I'm on my own. And to me, that's a huge win. So, and I did that this year.
That's
So,
awesome, man. That's
yeah,
and Randy, we gotta talk because you've inspired me, man, to really execute on this Facebook group thing, and it's another way for me to contribute because like real estate has been a big thing for me, man. It's huge,
yep,
huge. So I'm always open to share my successes and failures, and just having the right platform and way to do it. I have a course not because I want to sell a course. I have a course because if I can't help you make sense of a $97 decision, how are you gonna get into real estate?
right,
Like if and yeah, it doesn't require your money, but it does require some money, and you gotta it's a mindset shift. And so
yep,
as a coach, I learned some of these things, and now it's like, okay, well, I put certain obstacles in the way so that we can have these conversations, and so you can
yep,
start moving forward. And to your point, like, you already set the intention. All the things that you just said you could do in the next 30, 90 days.
yep.
And I say that because I'm
You there?
yeah, sorry, lost you. Yeah,
No,
so
no, no. Hold on. Yeah, that was something went wrong with StreamYard for a minute. So that was us. That was StreamYard's bad. I had
okay.
to I had to log out and log back in. So luckily it still kept everything.
No,
So
that's good. That's good.
all right.
Yeah, so man, I can definitely help you close the gap on some of this stuff, bro.
Yeah, most definitely.
You know,
And that's one thing that I wanted to I that was one goal of mine about doing this was not just today, but this whole ecosystem of what I'm doing. And I might rename this to be like the Randy Steadwell show and stuff like that to try to build that, because that's I'm trying to build my brand this year as much as possible. And with that being said, I'm trying to connect with people that I normally would not connect with. And somebody like you. Now, I knew Khalif before here, but like even getting to know Khalif, I want other people to know Khalif as much as possible because I want to help him out in his business. And I think he's helped me out so much that I want other people to you know go by the same aspect and get the same help and so on and so forth. Do we all make money at the end? Yes, we do. And when one person makes money, hopefully 10 people make money. So that's the whole goal. I'm not trying to be greedy. I'm not trying to keep all the money to myself or anything like that. I'm here to share the wealth and just trying to make a living. You know, that's really about it. But I want to use these relationships that I bring on board to be able to not only help other people, but also help myself when the time comes, you know. So I'm trying to build my brand as much as possible, and we can kind of go from there. But you know, next week, everything should be pretty much confirmed. Next Monday, we're going live again. We're going to be doing it like every Monday again, the same type of deal. But I'm bringing on a big time, another property management company from Beal Property Group, Beal Property Management. And he's going to, you know, he owns multifamily. He runs multifamily, runs single family in Detroit and all the way around. I'm excited to bring him on. So I know Khalif knows who I'm talking about.
Yep.
So, you know,
So
yeah.
if I could make the suggestion, man, I wouldn't change the name. You know,
Yeah.
if you want to do something under your name, I would do it separate from this.
Yeah.
Because in making that transition, you know, you lose a little bit of the momentum and equity you've already established with this group.
Yeah.
And so,
Well,
you know,
no, I wouldn't change the name of the group. What I
yeah.
meant is I'm just talking about the show,
Oh, okay.
just the show.
So in that
I
respect,
don't
then
actually have a name for the show. I just go live.
oh,
So,
got it.
so
Got it.
me actually naming the show, the Randy Stidwell Show, hopefully will get my name out there a little bit more. You
Got
know.
it.
So
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And then that way we can kind of keep moving forward, and you know, people can get to know my name better. They'll easily search me on YouTube better, easily search me on social media better, and things like that. So
Real estate with Randy Studwell.
that's right. Real estate with Randy Stidwell. Awesome. So that's real good.
Yeah,
So
that's keyword optimize.
yep,
It's your name in it.
with
Yeah,
real estate.
it flow.
Yep. So I believe it was. I want to go back and just make sure. So it was Earl Harris who said his goal is to add 20 doors, single family or multifamily, to his portfolio this year. So 20 doors. Honestly, Earl Harris, I commend you putting it out there. Now, another reason why I'm here to do this today on January 2nd, 2023, is because the last show that we do, I'm going to come back and I'm going to see what goals did we meet, what goals did we hit, what goals did we exceed, and that way we can be ready to set for the next goals, for the next year's goals.
I love that.
Yep. So that's why I'm encouraging people, put them in the chat. I'll put them up here on the screen for whatever goals you want. If you want to come on video, we'll do that as well. But this will fully live on YouTube. Okay. I will not take this down. It will, it definitely will be here, and you can look back at it no matter what. So Khalif, okay, so you have, we'll rephrase your goal. You have one, maybe two you said two buy and hold deals this year, right? All right. And what other goal? And then you want to hit 10,000 members in your Facebook group.
Yep.
Is that right? Okay.
As well as you know, to consistently average 2 to 3 deals over the course of this next fiscal year.
Most definitely.
So I think those are all doable, all achievable.
Yes.
Just with consistency, and I think the next step is, to your point, man, just setting those intentions and putting them out in the universe. You know, we're here on video and it's archived, so there's some accountability there.
Most definitely.
I think we all want to circle back around and watch that video and make sure we smash it.
We're going to smash those goals. Okay. We're not just going to hit them. We're going to smash them. All right. So one big goal that I have for me that I'm putting in here is I want to help 25 people get their first deal with me JVing with them. Okay. The only reason I add that caveat is because that's the only way I can measure it. Okay. With 25 deals, that puts me at 2 to 3 deals per month right there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that's 2 deals per month with 1 month doing 3 deals. All right. And going from there, I want to do a creative deal, a creative wholesale deal. And I also want to do a creative deal, a buy and hold for myself. Okay. For social media handles, we want to hit 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. Okay. So anybody who is watching this on YouTube, whether you're watching this now or you're watching the replay, we want to hit 1,000 subscribers. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, everything, the bell notification, and by the end of the year. Okay. For my Facebook group, so right now we're sitting at about 2,300. I definitely like to hit 5,000. Okay. I think that's hugely doable by the end of the year. Okay. And I have let's see here. I'm building my SOPs for my cold calling. I'm building, so that I can, if I do those 2 to 3 deals, I can bring on 2 to 3 VAs, and that will take a lot of the workload off myself. Okay. My goal with this is not only to do the systems, record the systems, so that eventually I can help out as many people as I can, put it out there, and then possibly within the year after, build up a course. And obviously the course will be a test course, things like that. I'm not sitting here saying,
Randy, we gonna get you, man. We gonna get you rocking and rolling, bro. You see. So there's this concept called one chapter ahead, right?
Yep.
Have you ever heard of it?
I have not, but I've heard of the concept.
Yeah. So with the one chapter ahead or one step ahead, a lot of times all you have to do is be one step ahead, and the reality, man, is with your channel and what you've been doing, you've already been coaching and you already have a course of sorts.
Yep.
And it's just putting it all together with more intention. And you have the credibility to do it,
Yeah.
And so it's no reason to delay it,
Yeah.
because you're, by putting it together, what you're doing is truly helping people. So doing those 25 JVs is going to require them to consume some information. It's going to require your time. You know what I'm saying? And so it's
and there's a reason why I do the things the way I do. And the reason why I do that is because I'm methodical. I want to make sure that the people, whoever buys the course, and by all means, it's not going to be outrageously expensive. But whoever buys the course, they get the value out of it. Okay. And so right now I'm doing everything that I would do in that course. I'm doing it for free on my content. Okay. So keep that in mind. Everything that I would do in the course, I'm doing it here for free on my content, with all my content on my YouTube channel, everything. So I'm building up all these systems to eventually get to that point. So now Larry Shepard said, just pushing this out there for him. My goal is to go from 6 to 10 doors and at 2 deals using hard money lending to burring. Okay. Haven't used hard money lending yet. Larry, if you haven't used hard money lending, I interviewed a gentleman by the name of Yoav Gilead with Greenblock um, Incorporated or Lending. I can't remember. But go back to Larry. You can watch him, but he's a great resource. He's a hard money lender. He does both products by using short-term hard money loans as well as long-term as well. So keep that in mind. And he said the main requirement is it has to be an entity, not your own personal name. Okay, so check him out. Hopefully, I gave you some value there. But that goal is here, so you can look back at that in December of 2023 and see if you hit that goal. So, I definitely think that it is something worth out. With the steps and process that I'm doing, if I was doing this full time, I could reach this a lot faster, like you said, Gerald. But because I work a full time job and I have a wife I have to take care of, so I I have to minimize like the allocation of my time. And
No, I get the world of it. Yeah,
yeah,
yep.
so
I'm just saying. I just want you to know, just in case you doubted it, that what
yeah,
you're saying is very much doable. You know what I'm
yep,
saying? You're on the right track. You're already covering a lot of the bases,
yep.
and I'm just making sure that you're aware of that, brother. But
I
you're right on.
appreciate
You're
it.
right on track.
I appreciate it. So with that, we had so also video calling with people. Okay, so that's one of my goals as well. Is when we do a video call with people, we're gonna come on here. Now we're gonna do it similar to like this here. The only difference we're not gonna go live is we're just gonna be recording the call. Okay. So if anybody else wants to know what the format will look like, it'll look just like this. And we'll be able to talk through it as long as we need to and kind of go from there. If for some reason you do want to hop on a call and do this recording, hit me up. My number is right here, okay, as well as my email. I'll have this scrolling, okay, is right here at the bottom. Randy buys houses mi at gmail.com. Okay. So by all means, and then if you want to get a hold of any one of these gentlemen that are here, okay, Khalif has his number right there. So you can check him out. You want to spit out your email?
I just
Your
threw it in the chat real quick.
All
Khalif
right.
buys homes at Gmail.
Okay.
And that'll get me each and every time.
Okay.
Um, for similar to Randy, I mean, to his point, I guess to tie it all together, I started my group with the intention to step outside of my network because I felt like I was really, I came from the tutelage of there's not enough room to JV.
Yeah.
So I started my group to kind of test the waters and get outside my network. And Randy was one of the first people I JV'd with. I mean, even from our very first deal together,
Yeah.
it's like you kind of think you've seen it all. And that one was interesting and had layers. But I mean, me and him have had several since then, and
Yep.
they've gotten even more complicated. But I learned the concept. I kind of got tricked into starting my Facebook group. Is I got pitched on real estate on Facebook, and I'm all, I'm real estate. I'm like, I'm down to hear it. And it was
Yep.
a presentation to start a Facebook group. And I'm like, well, I mean, I know the amount of users that Facebook had and, how they posed to have a piece of digital real estate. If, you stay in compliance and don't do anything crazy, we went, for our first year from literally 0 to 5,000 people, all organic, no money put behind it. So,
Right.
it's really powerful, to work it, and Randy even took it a step further from me now with consistently going live. He's engaging with his community and stepping out on Facebook or
Yep.
excuse me, YouTube, and you're reaching, you know, even outside of your sphere of influence. And just like yourself, this stuff is going to age. It's going to be sitting there forever to keep, you know, creating that front end of your funnel for whatever you decide to do down the line. So I commend you, man. You listen, because I mean, me and you have those conversations. We suggest it to people all the time, but it's not easy, but it's definitely worth it once you get it started.
Most definitely. And that's the key is, and it's funny because every single one of those deals that something went wrong, we've both learned something from there. Now, guess what we do? We ask those questions early on so we know
Yep.
that those things don't come up.
Yep.
And things go faster, you know, or we have to pivot faster. That's just how it goes. Okay. So, you know, in my opinion, that's, you know, doing that is going to be exactly what we do in going forward. You know, we're going to learn from our mistakes. We're going to pivot a lot faster. In this market, we have to look at what happened from March to right now in this market. Okay. The things I was selling in March, I cannot sell at those same prices right now. Okay. Because of the interest rates. Well, guess what? The interest rates are not going to dramatically come down by summertime. No, they're going to either stay steady or go up. That's just how it's going to be. Okay. And right now, they're only steadily going up. And I think they're going to stay stable throughout the rest of the year, maybe going up a little bit here and there. But I think once, and this is just my opinion from what I'm reading from the Fed and all these reports, I really think that we're going to be first to second quarter of 2024 is when we're going to start coming down. There's a chance the last quarter 4 of 2023, but I really think it's going to be first to second quarter of 2024 that the rates are going to start coming down. So
I don't think rates are gonna come down at all, because I feel like they need to be where they are, and we forget that rates used to be at 12 and 16% at one time.
Yes.
You know, and they went as low as they did because of what was going on with the housing market in 2008.
Yep.
And a number of different things. And so, you know, what we experience as, you know, common rates is not, you know, I expect them to be somewhere around 6, 7, 8% ongoingly. And I think what needs to happen is our wages need to come up to support that. And so that's the change that I want to see. But right now is the best time to buy real estate as ever. And the more knowledgeable you are about the different strategies that exist and what to do as the market shifts, you'll be in a better and more competitive position to take advantage of what's going on. So definitely keep tapping in, you know, because Randy's bringing it to you, man.
And it brings me to, for Gerald, you know, it looks like he has his number right at the bottom of his name. Go ahead and get a hold of him. I put in the chat his email address as well. Okay, so if you want to email him, and if you're, say, a private money lender and you want to get into his syndication or anything like that, contact him. It's not me endorsing it. I'm just let's all come together. I don't know enough about it to endorse it, so I can't say that. But definitely, you know, me and Gerald will have some conversations about that. I will say that. So, you know, with that, like, you know, I think that is pretty much it for my goals for what I have. And I think the biggest thing for me is that I can help those 25 people get those first deals. Okay. I can help, you know, anybody out there get a deal, JV with them, so on and so forth. Hit that 2 to 3 deals per month. and go from there. So if I'm building these SOPs, I'm building these systems and processes and so on and so forth, we can kind of go forward. So you have anything to add on that, Joe?
Yeah, so I do hard money lending, FYI.
Okay.
And if you reach out and you just reference Randy, it'll definitely help me help him. And
Awesome.
I'll there's more than enough to go around.
Most definitely.
We live in an abundant society, and there's more than enough deals out there. In fact, the reality is, it's required a lot of times to partner with people and collaborate. And so, just get used to it and don't be afraid. And I just encourage you, if you're just getting started with real estate, be
Mm-hmm.
one of those 25 people that Randy's looking to help walk through the process, because, real estate education is not free, man. You can learn a lot
Right.
on YouTube, but you'll never, there is a experiential gap that exists.
Mm-hmm.
And I can tell you that it's nothing like walking through a deal with somebody that's been there before to kind of help you, avoid some of those landmines. Um, and after you've done it, then it's the sky's the limit. So
Right.
definitely be one of Randy's 25 for sure. I encourage that.
Most definitely.
Yep.
I appreciate that, Jared. And then, what we're going to do is, if you reach out to me on the Facebook group or even on YouTube, let me know where you came from, so that I know, how you got in touch with me. But, more than likely it's going to be through the Facebook group. As much as I like the YouTube channel is, we'll have, um, we'll kind of go from there. So, and Ridgewood Investments, off of YouTube, actually, speaking of that, have I used Privy? I have, and I do have Privy. And I think it's a really good source. I like to use it for comping, um, but there's a lot of different things you can use Privy for. So, um, so I just wanted to answer that one question real quick. But I think for the goals for us, it's for my company, I'm a one-man show at the moment. I have one VA. We'll continue with one VA throughout until we start getting those 2 to 3 deals, and then we'll up that to 2 to 3 VAs. Okay. And what we're going to do is I want to help out, as many people as I can. So if you are interested, I reach out to me, text me, okay, or email me. All right. And my email is scrolling at the bottom. It's Randy buys houses at gmail.com. Okay. Ridge Investments. You said you'd be interested. Happy to work with you. Okay. Hit me up on an email. We can get on a video call. We can get on a phone call, and we can kind of start off from there. Okay. And I'm happy to work with anybody out there who wants to work with me, because I'm an open book, and I tell people that all the time. I'm an open book, and I want everybody else to be an open book. So if you are one of those wholesalers out there that wants to work with me, and now you want to test me because you've been in the industry for 10 years and you want to see where I'm at and ask me these questions, I'm not the guy for you. Okay. I don't like to be tested. I'm an open book, so I expect you to be open with me. And I've had that before. That's how I know that. All right. And we laugh about it, but it's like,
No,
I have had this
that's
dad.
why I'm laughing, because
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I know, Khalif, you've had that before, right?
Man. That's part of the game, right? It's just like I chuckled when you said earlier, man. I'm getting off the phone as fast as possible. I already know I already know the word tracks, right?
Yeah, exactly. So I'm not here to sit here and tell you, what we can, hey, this is the experience I have. This is what I'm doing. If I don't know something, I'm not going to tell you I don't know something. I'm not going to try to bullshit you. Okay. And hopefully by me coming on here and telling you that and interviewing these people and talking to them, let you know, hey, I don't know everything. But guess what? I'm building up a network of people who do, and I can go to them and ask them questions. Okay. I have value in what I do because I work as hard as I do, So I may do this part-time, but I treat it like a full-time job. And that's what I tell people. So, with that being said, we're at about an hour and 20 minutes. I think we've listed out all goals. Any final thoughts of you guys you want to add in?
Myself again. I mean, I work real close with Randy. I might some stretches talk to him literally every day.
Hey, we do.
So,
we do.
Yeah. A lot of the times, even stuff he gets, he sends my way. Stuff I get,
Yep.
He I send his way. At the end of the day, trying to get a deal moved. So,
Yes.
If we cross reference or run across people, I don't mind. If you reach out to him, if you're in my network, because probably going to see the deal anyway.
Exactly.
So, let's leverage each other. And just like he said, I'm not as out there as him yet, but I'm of the same thought process. I'm reading a book. I don't know if it's up here. The Magic of Thinking Big.
It's
probably jacking up because of my
your background. Your background. Oh, okay.
But one concept in it they talk about is how useless it is being a person that knows everything. It's much more advantageous to be the person that knows nothing but is resourceful enough to get the answers. To go ahead and ease your mind and your brain power. Knowing everything's only good for Jeopardy, right? And how many of us are going to make it there? So if you can use that energy doing things like this and building relationships and leveraging other people, I've learned over the last 4 to 5 years with wholesaling is, the concept of relationship capital over actually having cash or even credit.
Mm-hmm.
One conversation, getting into the right room can change the trajectory of your business literally today is what I've learned. So don't, I think Randy mentioned it, YouTube and cramming and trying to do everything for free only gets you so far. You got to get out there, be willing to invest in yourself if that's stepping outside your shell, going to REIs or starting your own platform to network and leverage other people. I know it's changed my life in the last year or two. Things started to get stagnant. I decided to step outside of my network and, things blew up literally overnight when you make that decision to want more. So I definitely, if you're on your fence, I know there's a lot of newbies that are scared of screwing up. I'm going to let you in on a secret. Gerald, Randy, I'm sure you guys know this too. You're going to screw it up anyway.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
You're going to screw it up. You're going to screw it. Your worst fear is going to happen. So just go ahead and do it.
Exactly. And that's the thing, that's one thing that I actually wanted to mention about mentorship. Okay. Mentorship comes in all forms. Okay. For me, did I pay for a mentorship? Well, yes and no. I never traditionally paid for a mentorship where I have a mentor, I'm calling them up every day, I'm doing this or that. How I paid for that mentorship is I JV'd with that person. Okay. And I had him on a couple weeks ago, Todd Chun. He was the first wholesaler that he was on my first deal, he JV'd with me. Okay. And I learned a ton from that. I've JV'd with him a ton more since then. But with that being said, he was essentially my first mentor. And how he got paid was he JV'd on the deal. What happened is okay, I know I have a deal here. I'm not quite sure if I have a buyer. I give him a call and say, hey, do you think we can blah, 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 so on and so forth. I work with him and we can kind of go from there. Okay. That's another way of a mentorship. Now, going as far as being having paid more mentorships, like I'm, building a course, things like that nature. Now, that right there is still, that's a huge investment, but you have to keep in mind, if you try to spend $5,000 or $10,000 on a mentorship that you're not ready for, you're wasting that money at the moment. You have to get the mentorship that you're ready for. Okay. And if you're not ready, if you haven't started doing deals, or if you haven't put anything into action, and you're going into a mentorship that is meant for people who are doing 10 to 20 deals a month, or on whatever case it may be, you're wasting that money, in my opinion. So I at least wanted to bring that up as well before we head off, because we're talking about goals, because we're talking about mentorships and things like that. So,
the thing that I would say about that, because I don't disagree with you. I
right,
think what needs to, because what happens is people hire mentors thinking that the mentor is going to do all the work.
yep,
And so when you say you're wasting that money, if you're expecting, the mentor to do all the work, and you're not willing to take the action, then I 100% agree.
yep,
Because that's a strategy that I use actively. Like,
yep,
I have no problem spending money on somebody that's done it before.
right,
But I'm very intentional about that,
yep,
and I'm very intentional about what I'm willing to do. In addition to paying them, I add value. So in the example, Randy, you just laid out, because you are a go getter. He was willing to joint venture with you because he's not pulling dead weight.
right,
You're carrying, you're adding value. You're bringing the lead to the table. Like,
mm-hmm,
I'll JV with 100% of people that do that, because you're just leveraging my experience, and for me it's easy. I
yep,
just plug and play.
yep,
The problem with that for me as a coach is I would get students that really didn't appreciate that, and
mm-hmm,
they didn't learn.
yeah,
And so, my goal is not for you to have me coach you. Like, I want to get you up to speed, and then I want to collaborate with you. I don't want to be carrying all the weight. I want you to build your own business and that type of thing. And
oh yeah,
so, for me, it's just, as a mentor, it's been that journey. It's like,
yep,
okay. And so for me, I actually interview people, because I don't want to take your money if I know that you're not gonna do the work.
yep,
And that's why I only charge $97 for my course, because I know if that's a hurdle for you, you're not ready. If you got to
yeah,
put up a $1,000 earnest money deposit to tie up a deal,
mm-hmm,
and you can't make sense of that, and you got 10, 20 grand sitting on the other side of that contract,
yep,
but you got to make a $1,000 decision, like, you need to work on your money mindset. you know
100%,
so again, you're adding a lot of value, brother,
yep,
and any way that I can help, you know what I'm saying,
I
feel free,
appreciate it.
for sure.
So, and where I was getting at with whether somebody's ready or not is, there's different levels, whether as far as somebody coming in and they want to do a multifamily with, huge apartment deals, but uh, they don't know the simple terminology, even from a single family aspect. And or how to, let's start for, how to comp properties, properly, things like that. Now, I'm not sitting here saying that you need to know all that going in. What I'm saying is that there's different levels for different mentorships. Okay. Just pick the one that you are ready for at that time. Okay. Eventually you'll work your way up to those bigger mentorships. Okay. And kind of go from there. So, if you don't put in action, you are going to waste time. It's like for me, um, 10 years ago, I wasn't ready to lose weight. Okay. And when I joined, just because I joined the gym doesn't mean I'm going to go lose weight. You know, I may, even if I go for a week, I go for 2 weeks and may lose a pound or two here or there. But if I don't stay consistent at it, it's just going to come right back. Okay. It wasn't until, I don't need a freaking gym. I went out and got a bike. And I just started bicycling every freaking day. You know what? The wife's pissed off at me. I take my frustration out on riding a bike, and so on and so forth. So you got to stay consistent, as consistent as possible. That is what gets you. Anybody who says that this is a get rich quick scheme or a get rich, yes, you can make money quick depending on the deal, but that is a 1 in 100. I'm going to tell you that right now. Most of your money is doing the follow-ups, and most of your money is in just staying consistent in what you're doing.
Yeah, I often say it's not get rich quick, it's get rich possible, and you have to do the
Yep,
work.
that
You
is
know,
right. That is
because
100% correct.
you can make a lot of money, and it ain't gonna be as easy.
No.
To Randy's point, when I transitioned from residential flipping to multifamily syndication, it took 6 months from start to finish, but I wasn't starting at zero, and
Yep.
I paid Grant Cardone some money, but I was very intentional about learning from him. So I was in Miami like every other week,
Mm-hmm.
at Cardone, on the phone with his team, taking advantage of what I invested in. And I was actually out there, you know, looking at deals, running the numbers, like
Yep.
the practice. And then I was reading other books, and it was, man, I was crying at one point
Yep.
because I had the deal under contract and my deposit was hard, $50,000,
Yep.
you know, and this is on the back end of a pandemic, and it's like, and I got to raise $5 million, and I'm like, well, shit, I can't quit, so let's just push forward, and that's the grind. And to Randy's point, if you're not ready for that level of commitment,
Yep.
then and right, how you
Yep.
learn, you know what you're gonna do and what you're not. And so,
Mm-hmm.
interview the mentor, ask the questions, give them scenarios.
Yep.
If it's the right coach and mentor, they'll be able to let you know whether or not their program is a fit for you. you know but regardless of wherever you're at, definitely understand that, again, it's not get rich quick, it's get rich possible, and
Yep.
you're gonna need to do the work. And
That's 100% agree. I 100% agree with you on that. And I think that, it's going to be anybody who's out there who thinks this is a get rich quick scheme, like we just said, you're in the wrong business. Go do something else. I've done drop shipping. I've done things like that. Now, I failed at those. Now, I'm not saying that those things don't work. There's a lot of people that make money at those. It just was not for me. Okay. So, am I telling you to go quit your job and start doing this? Hell no. Hell no. I still have my 9 to 5. And I've been doing this for 2 years. Now, granted, I like my job. So keep that in mind. Okay. But even if I didn't like my job, you need to be strategic and you need to have goals. My strategic is I will not quit my job in wholesaling. I will quit my job when I get passive income coming in with rentals. Okay. That's when I'll do that. Okay. And I have to replace that income. That way, the wholesaling is still the gravy on top. So, that's my idea. Now, Khalif has a different thing because he does this full time. Ain't that right?
Yeah, I had a unique situation where I had to make the leap because the corporation I was working for didn't honor my transfer from Ohio at the time to Michigan. So I was at a situation where I had to cut ties with them because my girlfriend at the time was here with our daughter for like 9 months by herself. And, that's not what either of us signed up for.
Yeah.
So, I mean, in hindsight, I definitely would have liked to, what I'm saying, move here with that situation still in place. But, different strokes for different folks.
Yep.
And it's been working out for me and the family. Um, and I know it's not me that's doing it, and I'm grateful, and give it back to God for sure. Because to your point, Gerald, even though you were established, it sounded like in flipping, I literally started at zero with wholesale mentorship at zero, and it took me 6 months to do my first deal. So that was the most fun I never want to have again, I'll say.
Tell me about it.
But I learned a lot, and I'm able to, definitely help people navigate those landmines that I went through, with quitting your job too early or not, kind of being in a situation where you got to, meet when rubber meets road and make some things happen. And wholesaling has been the vehicle for me and has just turned into so many other different things that I never even saw down the line. But, with this, I always said it, it went from months to years now at this point, and most people just quit too soon. That one deal that's life changing, just to your point, maybe on the other side of that earnest money deposit, or it's on the other side of that one more cold call, that one more text, that one more, outreach to those sellers. People just quit too soon, and you're just, lining it up. It's like the casino slot machine. Somebody warms it up for you, or you warm it up for somebody. You give up, and they hop on it. They're $20 deep and hit the jackpot. So,
Most definitely.
and that's those, to your point, those people that are, the one hit wonders come in week one, week two, get their first 4 or 5 figure deal. Somebody put in that work before them. Trust me, that quit too soon.
100%. 100% agree with you on that. So, because I've actually come across certain things where all I had to do is hit that, just hop over this little river or hop over this little thing, and I'm like, you know what? It's a little too hard. I'm just gonna head out. All I had to do was just boop. That's it. Now, did I realize it then? No. If I would have known it then, yes, 100% would have done it. Then you look back at it, hindsight 2020, right? And I've done that enough to realize, you know what, if it's something I'm interested in, if it's something that I like doing, if it's something that I need to push through it, no matter what. Okay.
Yeah, it's that 3 feet from gold, man.
That's right.
If you read Think and Grow Rich, it's that 3 feet from gold.
Yep.
And a lot of you that are listening and watching this, you're right there, and it's worth it.
100%.
Khalif,
100%.
do you still do any deals in Ohio at all?
So I guess long story short is no, but I've now made some connections with a wholesaler actually out of Dayton
Okay.
who sends me stuff up this way to JV on. And I have another investor. She's actually a buy and hold and flip investor in Columbus that I've networked with, that she's trying to actually buy here. And I'm trying to reciprocate that relationship because I know I lived in Columbus. I know that market well. And I lived in Dayton. I know that market well. And then I spent weeks at a time in the Cincinnati market. So if anybody's out there that are in those markets, I have the relationships down there, or I mean, I was just in Cincinnati for like a week and a half.
Yeah, let's definitely talk, man, because I'm looking at 60 units right now in Cleveland,
Okay.
the Cleveland Heights area, and
Okay.
it's a couple of different things happening in Ohio, and I have some resources out there too for like government funding and
Okay.
grants and all that stuff. Ohio's a unique state where they have resources set aside for the right type of people, and the person that's responsible for that does a good job of educating people on how to tap into those resources. So yeah, let's definitely connect.
No,
And
we'll definitely
Randy,
connect
Randy,
off that.
thanks for the networking opportunity, man, for
That's
sure.
what we're doing here,
Yeah,
getting people together, talking to people, making deals happen. If just by if something happened between you two by connecting, coming around here, it was worth it, right?
Yep, for sure.
Even if nothing happened, and something happens 10 years down the road, it's still worth it.
well,
So
shit. If I'm a buyer, man. So if you
exactly.
wholesaling, put me on your buyers list. You got my number and
Yeah.
my email, like for real, for real. And like that's my nature at this point.
Yep.
So and for me, that's any market. Like I gotta go to Lawton, Oklahoma. I got a couple projects there. Right now, I'm in Kansas City, Kansas, working on some stuff,
Okay.
and you know, wherever the deals make sense is where I go. So
Gotcha.
I've been traveling. I used to be. I started off with fortune builders, and
Okay.
for a number of years, I did some traveling with them, not as an employee, but just as a student. Who made that investment and wanted to get some bang for the buck. And so I would go to rehab boot camps in other states to really get a feel for how deals are done in different states and what the differences were. And so I just developed a comfort level of investing in other states now, you
Hmm.
know, and I know how to hit the ground running. I know how to cultivate a team with little resources and part of it is this stuff, tapping in with local resources and local RIA groups and things like that and identifying the people that are doing it, and then start adding value because, you know, that's, that's the name
100%.
of the game. Yeah. This is a team
So
sport. So
yeah.
thanks
So
again, Randy, for the opportunity to tap in, man. I
no
appreciate you
problem.
reaching out. And like I always say, man, any way I can help you and support what you're doing, you let me know.
I appreciate it, and I appreciate the short notice on coming on. So that's the thing. Like what we're trying to do here is we're trying to create, relationships between people, and then what we're also trying to do is, help as many people out there as possible. So between me, between Khalif, between Gerald, I think we can help as many people out here as possible. If you have anything, contact us. Our emails in the chat. My emails right here have been scrolling here at the bottom, and all of our phone numbers are right here at the top. So our nameplates. Okay, you can see mine. You can see Jared's. You can see Khalif's. That goes straight to our cell phone number. Okay, and leave a message if we don't answer, but we'll get right back to you. Trust me, we all want to make money. There's enough to go around. All right. Um, so with that being said, I want to leave it with, happy 2023, goodbye 2022. Let's all make some money together, and we kind of go from there. And again, that those 25 people that I want to help get their first JV deal or get their first deal, email me, call me, and you can be one of those 25. Okay. If it's not your first deal and you still want a JV with me, I'm open for that too. So come
Oh, that was
on.
going to be my closing argument. If it's not your first deal, come to me.
Ain't that right? So Khalid, whether you work with me, whether you work with Khalid, it don't matter. Because the thing is that it's funny because I'll put it out there. I'll put a deal out there and say I'm 50-50 with somebody on their deal. And I give it to Khalif. Me and Khalif had this understanding that whatever I get, I split with them. Okay. Now, if what the other person wants to do a third, and a third, perfectly fine. But whatever I brought Khalif on, if he doesn't want to do that, that's perfectly fine. I'll just split my half. I don't care. You know?
Yeah, we're all about volume, man, and getting
Exactly.
people helped out.
So for that, it's like, you know, I'm here to meet people, to make connections, and let's get our deals out to the most amount of freaking people we can, you know? Now, I'm not saying that I have the end all be all buyers list. You know, I have buyers and I have a great buyers list, but so does Khalif, you know, so do other wholesalers too, you know, but what you get with me is my experience and dealing with these people and dealing with these sellers and dealing with these buyers and what to bring up, you know, hey, we need to concentrate on this. We need to get this. We need to make sure that they understand, hey, does your contract say, I'm getting a lot of these people wanting, oh yeah, buyer needs to pay back taxes. Don't ever sell a house where the buyer needs to pay back taxes. I don't care what kind of deal that is. You implement that into the price. No buyer out there wants to buy a house and pay the back taxes. Okay.
So, caveat.
There's always a caveat.
If that's the motivation of why they want to sell, and the numbers make sense, I'll pay the damn back taxes.
Correct.
But
the numbers make sense.
If you enter in a contract and you don't catch that, you're not intentional. And I think that's more your point.
Yes.
You know, that sounds like something got by somebody and they didn't, they didn't catch it and got hit with like probably $6-7 grand.
Yep.
That they didn't account for. And now if you're trying to wholesale something, you're not going to make no money because there goes your wholesale or assignment fee.
Correct. And the reason why I was bringing that up is because I have people out there that are putting this out there and they're saying, well, buyer has to pay back taxes. Well, guess what? No buyer out there is going to pay the back taxes at that price that you just presented it. Okay. That price that you just presented it is like an iffy deal. And now they got to pay another 2, 3, 4, whatever. I mean, I've seen back taxes up to 50 grand, you know, they're not going to do that. Okay. So yes, the numbers have to make sense. And if you do that, if that's the motivation, you just have to make sure you get it cheap enough to be able to cover those. That's the biggest thing. So with that, I want to say thank you to these great two people here, Khalif and Gerald. Thank you for coming on, sharing your goals with us. Now we can look back at my goals. We'll look back at yours. We'll look Gerald's and Khalif's in December of 2023 and see, did we hit these? Did we not? What are the goals for the next year? All right. I really do appreciate it.
Thank you.
So everyone out there, have a great day. This one's a little bit longer, but hopefully we gave you enough value here that you can take this and run. All right. Have a great one. All our contact information is in the chat down at the bottom. If you didn't get it, hit the replay. Thank you.
Like, share.
Like, share, and subscribe.
There you go.
There you go. Like, share, and subscribe. Hit that little notification bell icon so it'll tell you when we do go live too. All right. Have a great one. Thank you, everybody. Good night.